Scott Carrington wants to know, talk about natural gas being a replacement for oil. In his mind, his words, I've always been under the assumption natural gas does not burn the same and instead is just an additive to our fuel.
No, natural gas, there are 8 million vehicles in the world today on natural gas. In the United States, there's only 142,000. California is by far the most advanced on using natural gas. But in the last question, I didn't complete the answer, and that is I want the natural gas to go into heavy duty. Natural gas will replace diesel and gasoline, and it is cleaner and cheaper, but it's a domestic fuel. But no, the technology is very well known. And Gazprom, the largest oil company in the world, which is a Russian state-owned oil company, they're going to do the cover Europe with natural gas fueling stations. So it's this technology, you almost feel a little bit foolish in America that we haven't done this before now.
Hey, Cliff Clark writes in saying trying to find these, and I know you talk about natural gas as replacing diesel as opposed to the passenger cars, but people want to participate. And he writes in talking about the new Hondas, which use the CNG. They're only available, he said, in New York and California. Is there a way to allow people? Can Congress do something? And his question is, can Congress do something to kind of get more people participating in this natural gas?
What I want Congress to do is to mandate that the federal additions to the fleet not upfit anything, but when the new vehicles come in, government vehicles, they all come in on natural gas. That'll send a message to the auto manufacturers, so they'll go to that. If you look at General Motors, they do 19 different natural gas vehicles. All of them are done in South America and Europe, none in the United States. That may be why General Motors may go broke. They seem to get in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Step back here for a sec. Jeff McGahee writes in wanting to know, do you see a future where we will honestly not rely on oil to fuel our cars? And if so, how soon?
Okay, the way I see that unfolding is that you will go natural gas, a domestic fuel, cheaper, cleaner. Okay, you use that and you start to replace the foreign oil. We've got to do this because our security is at risk here, importing almost 70% of our oil from foreign sources. Okay, so we go in and put the natural gas in transportation fuel, reduce the dependency by 30%. Well, the natural gas is a bridge fuel, and it bridges us about 20 to 30 years. And during that time, what happens is we then have the technology to go to the battery or to hydrogen or whatever else. So it's only a bridge for 20 to 30 years.
Let me ask you, are you surprised by the reaction you're getting to this plan? The buzz, I mean, this place is packed here today.
Oh, I know it. And it's we've had over 3 million come in on that website, PickensPlan.com. And that is about 3 times as many as we expected. So, but we did read the people right, and they think that there's something very serious about energy, which there is, and they don't think they're being told the whole story. And that's what we're going to try to do, is tell the whole story so they can help us and we can put pressure on Congress to get this fixed.
I have time for a couple more questions. I wanted to ask you one from Terry Hansen, who writes in from Erie, Colorado, saying as we turn to alternative energy sources to run vehicles, heat our homes, produce our electricity, what do we do about all the other things in our daily lives that depend on oil? Plastics, medicines, chemicals, cosmetics?
We've got to cut it down. We can't. If we go like we've gone for 40 years, in 10 years we will be importing 80% of our oil. That is a total disaster, and I promise you the price of oil will be over $200 a barrel.
It's going to be that bad.
It's going to be that bad. So we have to do something to get ourselves out of the trap. Fortunately, we have one thing that can get us out, is natural gas. Now, you bridge it with natural gas, but you will get to the battery, you will get to hydrogen, you will get to another fuel. But we will get less and less dependent on foreign oil all the time.
Todd Margulies writes in from Denver, and it's a question about kind of the politics surrounding this and your own personal politics in the past, saying, and I asked you this when you were in Denver, when did you come to this conversion? Because 4 years ago, you did support a candidate who wasn't necessarily as strong on the alternative fuel side of things as today, and kind of bring this to the politics of today, if you can.
Well, 4 years ago didn't have anything to do for me picking a candidate. I was against a candidate that I didn't think was fit to be president, so it made me for the other guy. But that energy was not a factor in that campaign because neither candidate had anything much to say about energy. But every candidate from back to the time of Richard Nixon all said, elect me and we'll be energy independent, as if it would just happen by a snap of your finger. And that was not true. Nobody ever held one of these guys that was president, Democrat or Republican, to what they said they would do. Never did it ever, did even our dependency go down. It went up, went the other direction from what they said they'd do.
And now the politics of today, is this happening? Are you getting it into the mainstream, you feel?
That's my whole plan here, is it's a nonpartisan issue. It's the most important question before the United States today, and we have two people running for president, and I'm 80 years old, and I have a lot of money. So I said, I'm gonna force this question to number one in this presidential campaign. These two guys, whichever one wins, is going to know a hell of a lot more about energy by the time he gets to November than he knows today. And the people in America are going to hold them to what they say they're going to do. They're going to tell you what they're going to do. They're going to come up with a plan, and we're going to hold them to it, because all of us in this country are going to know what energy is about, and we're going to know what to expect of these, whichever one of these guys are president of the United States. They're going to be held to it.
T.Boone Pickens, thank you so much for joining us on your show.